Namaste viewers. I'm Rekha Rao from India, a researcher in ancient history and archaeology. Welcome to the course on the fundamentals of Indian temple architecture. This is topic 4 of an 8-part series. In this topic, we will discuss how the birth and evolution of the universe is depicted in Indian temples. Temples were the centers of dissemination of knowledge in Indian society. Temple devotees were introduced to the physical sciences, medicine, arts, and philosophy through temple panels and sculptures. In ancient times, the study of physical sciences was neither formalized nor separated from other branches of knowledge. The birth, evolution, size, and age of the cosmos were beyond ordinary human understanding. Complex concepts were often conveyed through the structures and sculptures. The birth and expansion of the universe is one such complex concept that is depicted in many temples. We will explore the two theories pertaining to the birth and evolution of the universe as depicted in Indian temples. Firstly, the oscillating theory of the universe, which is also known as the Big Bang theory. Secondly, we explore the alternate steady state theory of the universe. We will then go through the philosophical and scientific interpretations of the mandalas with two case studies. We will also look at an example of how the theory was depicted in sculptures. Let's now start with the oscillating theory of the universe, which is also known as the Big Bang theory. The Big Bang theory says that 18 billion years ago, all the matter of the present universe was initially packed in a primeval fireball, which exploded with tremendous explosion. All matter in the universe started expanding and moving away from each other, which continues to happen to this day. This Big Bang theory proposes the forward and backward movement with the expansion and contraction of the universe. When it contracts, it eventually melts into a hot plasma of dissolution, ending in a big crunch. A nearly identical version of the theory is proposed in Vedas, which are the oldest scriptures of Hinduism. In the Vedas, this theory was called the Hiranya Garbha Sutra. Let's now look at an example of how this theory was depicted in a temple. Slide 1 is the view of the Bhuvaneshwari Mandala at the Belawadi Veeranarayana temple of South India, built during 11th century CE. It's a depiction of the oscillating universe theory about the expansion and contraction of the universe. Let's first study the structure of the mandala. The mandala of the temple looks like the umbrella spread of stars, sparklers contained in a square boundary. The central point, which is the primordial singularity, is in the motif of a conical lotus bud. Encircling this are three distinct layers of concentric circles decorated with the miniature replicas of the central conical bud. All conical buds are connected by longitudinal strips to the source point. They are uniform in all directions. They increase in size from the inner to the outer circle. Finally, it is enclosed in a square boundary. Let's now study the interpretation of this mandala. According to the Vedas, the egg-shaped cosmic energy of bright light arose from the darkness and the constant churning of primordial water. This was called Brahmanda. From this ball of energy, the golden germ, conceived as the universal life force, as the creator deity in male form called Purusha, appeared. Purusha form aspired that he should be present in microform in all the creations of the universe. He split himself into a million parts, pervading all things in all directions, and he entered all creations. Purusha, the source of energy, has been symbolized in the mandala as the central lotus bud. The miniature replicas of buds are repeated in all concentric circles as fractal representations. Support that the Purusha was present in a miniature form in all his creations. Since the exact period of the birth of universe was not known, time indicated by long steps was believed to have started ticking from when the self-created energy emerged. Space and matter expanded simultaneously in all directions, which is shown as growing concentric circles. When the mandala is observed from outer circle to the inner core, it depicts the involuting process of oscillating universe theory. The space and matter diminish back to high density zone and merge with the primordial energy. We will now explore slide 2. This slide illustrates the steady state theory and the rhythm of life in universe as depicted in mandala. This mandala is from a place called Somnathpur, a temple of South India built in Hoysala style of art during 13th century CE. The steady state model is an alternative to Big Bang theory, which proposes that although the universe is expanding, it does not change its appearance over time. The universe has no beginning nor end, according to this theory. This requires that matter be continuously created in order to keep the density constant. Let's now study the structure of the mandala. In this mandala, the central dot is the conical bud from which arises 12 radiating spokes of being. Each spoke is interspersed with 2 dots. According to numerology, 12 spokes denote the 12 months of the year, and the 2 dots signify the 2 fortnights of the month. Around the spokes, there is a labyrinth-like pattern with interwoven design, which neither has a beginning nor an end. This design further has a continuous creeper-like pattern with repeating scroll work all through. Let's now study the interpretation of this mandala. It looks like a closed circuit diagram giving a picture of fluid but rhythmic movement. From the philosophical perspective, the spiral design signifies continuity and ongoing process. The circular units of a spiral design represent the continuity of life through generations. A life that is born, grows, gives birth to its younger replicas, and these younger replicas form the following generation. All activities are governed by the constant supreme power, Sun, the donator of energy for all living beings. The continuous scroll pattern are of the same design, which is a parallel to the steady state theory that states, although the universe is expanding, it does not change in appearance over time. It also signifies the continuous creation of matter. From a scientific perspective, the spiral shapes in the mandala also depicts the law of conservation of energy, which states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. The total energy of an isolated system is constant but can change its form from one to another. This concept is depicted in a pictorial form in this mandala. Let's now look at an example of how steady state theory was depicted in sculptures. I present slide 3. It's an example of a pillar in the Sun Temple of Modhera in Gujarat, West India. This was built around 1026 AD. This interesting tall pillar has miniature figures of human couples depicted one above the other. This symbolizes the continuum of human life and the process of linking the past to future. The newer generations succeed prior generation as time passes by. This concept is depicted from the bottom to the top of the pillar. The 4 bigger figures in the middle depict Sun in personified form across the 4 long periods called yugas. The Sun has been depicted as a constant, immortal source across all the yugas. The right side of the picture depicts a similar creeper-like structure that we studied earlier. Let's now summarize the key learning from this topic. Indian temples were centers of knowledge that depicted both the creation and the steady state theory of the universe. These complex concepts were conveyed through intricate details of mandalas in temples. Hinduism had practical, scientific knowledge of the operation of the universe, which was amalgamated with religion. The secrets of cosmic order, as understood in the ancient period, has been conveyed through mandala patterns in temples. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in the next topic.